Sup, you chuckle fucks? It's your boy, Dark Arco with What If Issei Had the Prince Karma Seal, Part 5. Yeah, Part 5. Wait, me? Yeah, Part 5. So, this is, Part 5. Other than that, let me begin. This is What If. Let me shut the fuck up and let me begin. But, yeah. So, we begin into mostly Issei and, of course, being in art class. But, yeah. Issei is right now doing his like projects of like ceramics because he has like mostly clay project whatever because the teacher goes on blah 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 telling all the students that to show their artistic skills in front of their parents. No, this is where, well, mostly Issei doesn't, well, his parents are there. They're happy to see Issei because Issei really doesn't show up to the house that often. But of course, well, they see mostly Issei and a girl and a little kid right now, kind of like, mostly the little kid is right now playing with the, like, clay while he's trying to figure out what to build. Because Issei literally built one tiny, small, like, round chicken right next to mostly Megami. And Megami is right now kind of building something else. But yeah. That's where, oh, mostly both Sarah and even Issei are just talking, while mostly they're both kind of giggling after seeing how Megami is like literally creating a wolf to eat the chicken. But yeah, this is where, well, he's saying, how to make a wolf. This is where, well, he's trying to figure it out. But yeah, this is where, well, Issei is just sighing, just talking and laughing with Sarah, and of course, where, well, everyone else in the entire classroom is, well, still, first of all, dumbfounded and shocked about mostly Issei's, well, mostly official girlfriend, slash with their kid, because literally they seem to have a kid together, which is not entirely their kid. Mostly Issei did not just knock up Sarah, but mostly it seems to be an adopted kid. But this is where, well, everyone is still shocked, dumbfounded, and wondering, did Issei really change in only 2 months? Well, he changed almost entirely every time, but I mean, he was never a pervert. He was just normal. He literally didn't well like being a pervert too much at all. The only reason why he acted like a pervert in the school was because he wanted to get kicked out. That and he'd rather be kind of suspended or some kind of bullcrap, like dropped from this school. Never happened. So of course he gave up in the whole being perverted. He just stayed normal, but whatever. This is where, well, everyone is just kind of shocked. This is where, well, Sarah is such a beautiful kind of like girl that mostly a bunch of guys are kind of jealous, really jealous. This is where, well, there's also the girls are kind of jealous the fact that mostly is kind of handsome. Well, he does look handsome and kind of ripped because yes, he does have black kind of like black clothing that are kind of tight, so of course you can see some of his muscles. And of course, it seems that both Sarah and Issei are just talking, giggling, and other things. This is where, well, they're kind of complimenting, what's it called, Megami's kind of like making his, well, mostly art. The teacher isn't going to say anything. He's just wondering, did Issei fucked up? Did he do good? Does he have a good paying job? Can he still go to school? Which he doesn't really care if Issei can still go to school. It just seems Issei is having a fun time with his own family. Literally his own family. This is where, well, both, well, mostly Goro and Mika are just shocked because they see literally Issei with Sarah, which they never seen this girl. But of course, then see a little kid, which mostly Issei just kind of hugging most of the time and telling, "You're doing good, Megami." This is where Megami says, "Yeah, I know that. I just wonder how do you make a wolf." This is where, well, we'll see Megami has made like 10 like round chickens, and this is where, well, we'll see Issei chuckles and says, "Do you really want to make a wolf?" This is where, well, Megami says, "Yeah, I want to make mom." This is where, well, we'll see Sarah kind of giggles and says, "Oh, Megami, why you want to make me? Are you going to make also your papa as a wolf?" This is where, well, we'll see Megami says, "Yeah, I want to make a kind of blue wolf, and I want to make a white wolf, or mostly a greenish white wolf." This is where, well, we'll see Issei kind of chuckles and says, "Fine, I'll help you out. And if I make it, you're going to have to make my wolf much better." This is where, well, we'll see Megami kind of just smiles. And of course, where, well, everyone is here just seeing how Issei is really friendly to the kid, mostly his own child. While even Sarah's also friendly. This is where, well, of course, this is where, well, they notice that Issei and even Sarah gives glares to anyone that actually kind of like glancing and even glaring at them. This is where, well, because, well, Issei doesn't like people looking at him because it actually annoys the hell out of him. And of course, Sarah's the same. That paranoids a little bit hurt, but not much. This is where, oh, mostly we go into the end of the hour, and this is where, well, Megami has made about like 10 round chickens, a brown penguin. Mostly he made also a penguin because mostly he thought of Mr. Penguin from home. And this is where, well, he then thought of the two wolves and also a smaller wolf that's literally him. Him being a black wolf, while mostly his mama and papa being, well, mostly a greenish, like mostly, yeah, greenish white wolf, while his mother is actually like a darkish, blackish kind of blue wolf. But yeah. This is where, well, the greenish white wolf is a little bit taller than the blackish one, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly Issei is chuckling, seeing how mostly Megami managed to make a smaller version of the wolf. Of course, this is where, well, Sarah also helped with the wolf, but yeah. Everyone in the entire What's It Called class is just shocked to see this, but yeah. Issei, instead of making, well, the wolf actually have only one tail, mostly he made the wolf actually have like 11 tails. This is where, well, and he also kind of made, well, yeah, he only gave it like 11 tails. This is where, well, what's it called? Mostly, Megami wanted to create it with more tails, but he kind of messed up, and so he just left the one big tail. This is where Sarah even left the one big tail, but yeah. This is where Issei was grinning because he made 11 tails, but yeah. This is where, well, right now Sarah is just puffing her cheeks out, and this is where, well, she's saying, wow, why the heck did you make so many chickens and allow Megami to make so many chickens? This is where, well, mostly Megami is just looking at his like art project. Is literally kind of a farmish. I don't know. This is where, well, he just created something random. This is where, well, mostly she's wondering why Issei was so interested in chickens. This is where, well, mostly Issei kind of whispering to her ear saying, I mean, shouldn't you be interested in my chicken? This is where, well, mostly making Sarah kind of blush and say, don't say that out loud to him. This is where, well, she kind of whispered back towards mostly Issei, just her face kind of red and annoyed at Issei, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly Issei kind of just chuckles and says, don't worry, he doesn't understand just yet. This is where, well, mostly Sarah just blushes and just says, don't be mean. This is where she kind of just playfully punched mostly Issei's chest, and of course they're basically just talking back again, but yeah. Every other, like, parent that's actually watching this, they're actually kind of just taking pictures of Megami because Megami is actually quite an adorable child. This is where, well, even though he can be emotionless and less caring about people, he's actually quite happy when mostly he's with Sarah and even Issei, but yeah. Now, they actually wonder if both Issei and Sarah are actually in a relationship to be actually having kids. Because they realize that mostly half of the parents and even half of the students realize that, yes, Issei and Sarah are about the same age, being 17. And mostly Megami is actually around 7, so yeah. Now, they're wondering why a family is here anyway in the first place, a young family. But of course, they realize that Megami is probably an adopted child because he doesn't look that exactly like both his parents. I mean, except for the spiky hair from Issei, which Issei has brownish spiky hair. But it does have colors of like lightish greenish color, a little bit, but not much. This is where, well, he does have goldenish brown eyes, and this is where, well, Megami doesn't have goldenish brown eyes, he just has black eyes. Sarah, on the other hand, has purplish amethyst eyes, with mostly bluish hair. But yeah, this is where longish blue hair. But yeah, mostly Megami doesn't look anything like them, and neither does both of them look like anything like each other, because they were going to count them as siblings, but they weren't as siblings at all. But of course, everyone is just kind of mostly just still wondering why Issei even brought his family. Like, if he had a child and a freaking wife, or mostly a girlfriend, does that mean that Issei is living better than anyone in this school? That's where everyone's wondering, but yeah. But other than that, we go into a time skip. Right now, Megami has basically a bag, or not a bag, mostly like this case that has mostly the chickens, the wolves, and other things. Now, of course, the teacher, he pretty much just gave Issei an A+, and also Megami an A+, because, well, first of all, Megami was the most artistic one, because he was actually the one making, just copying this little kind of small projects that mostly Issei kind of displayed for mostly Megami to create, but yeah. So yeah, and of course, he just didn't know what to do with Sarah, because Sarah is not actually a part of the school at all. Neither is Megami, because Megami is 7 years old. And Issei is, but then again, Issei hasn't been seen for 2 months, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly they are walking out, and this is where, well, mostly this is where, well, before they kind of walk out and kind of leave the classroom, this is where, well, they kind of get stopped by mostly Issei's parents, being Goro and even Mika. Goro says, Issei, who is this, how should I say? This is where Mika says, "Who is this girl? Who is this kid? And where have you been for 2 months?" Issei sighs and says, "Mom, Dad, have I not told you that I already moved out of the house? I do visit sometimes, but not much times. And besides, if you're wondering who's the boy, this is my child. Mostly his name is Megami Usuzuki. Yes, he calls mostly his last name Usuzuki and not Hyodo, but yeah. Usuzuki or Hyodo doesn't really matter. This is where, well, this is Megami Usuzuki. This is where Megami says, hi. This is where, well, he kind of just, well, doesn't say hi friendly, he just says hi. And this is where, well, mostly he says, sorry. He doesn't really like people that much and he doesn't really act friendly with them. So sorry about him. Mostly this is my girlfriend slash, well, fiance, because I'm going to get a ring for her and I'm going to wed her. This is where, well, mostly, Sarah blushes instantly, like really red. And this is where Sarah says, "Don't say that in front of Megami." This is where, well, Issei says, "Sorry, I couldn't resist." This is where, well, mostly right now Mika and Goro are just shocked. This is where, well, Mika is just saying, "So you saying that this is my daughter-in-law?" Issei says, "Kinda, yeah, why not?" This is where, well, mostly Mika kind of holds on to mostly Sarah's hand and says, "Wow, you're so beautiful. Your eyes are so interesting, so beautiful indeed. I didn't know my son would actually get lucky and actually manage to get someone like you." This is where, well, right now Sarah says, "Yeah." This is where, well, Mika says, "So how long have you two been dating?" This is where, well, both Sarah and Issei looked at each other. This is where, well, one day. This is where, well, mostly Mika says, "One day? Wait, does that mean you two just, yeah, we became official relationship. We just knew each other for mostly 5 months. I took care of mostly Megami for a couple of days, mostly when Issei was usually on his job. But other than that, we became official yesterday. I mean, it kind of sounds like we've been dating for 5 months, but not really." This is where, well, mostly Mika is just shocked, happy, and just happy, very happy. That means this is where, well, Issei is going to bring lots of grandchildren when mostly he knocks up mostly Sarah. This is where, well, Sarah blushing because mostly she can actually see where mostly the perverted side that Issei usually talks into her ear after time 30 mostly gets it from, mostly is literally from his parents, Mika and Goro. This is where, well, right now Mika kind of blushes red and kind of just hides behind mostly Issei because she's already embarrassed entirely. And that's where, well, mostly Issei kind of chuckles and says, "Mom, Dad, can you not embarrass my girlfriend?" This is where, well, mostly, well, Goro says, "Son, I need to tell you something. First of all, are you going to try to, how should I say, you know," this is where, well, he was about to do hand signs just for, or like hand movements so mostly Issei can get it. Issei switches and says, "Dad, don't do that in front of Megami. Actually, where's Megami?" This is where, well, Issei realized that Megami actually disappeared and walked away. Issei said, Sarah? Sarah says, where? Huh? Megami! This is where, well, Sarah gets panicked a little bit, and this is where, well, mostly Issei says, "Don't, calm down. We can go find him. Besides, this school is not that big if I run through it." This is where, well, Sarah says, "Fine, but I gotta also help. Where's the best place do you think he might have went?" Good question. If he was my own child, he probably would have went to the up floor of Ozzy, just upstairs, like all the way to the top. Usually I like sitting there, hear music, and just looking around the view. This is where, well, right now Sarah nodded and just runs off. This is where, well, she says, "Where's the stairs?" "The stairs are right behind you." This is where she rushes up, but yeah. Issei switch up and says, "Well, I gotta be going, Mom, Dad." This is where, well, mostly they kind of wave, but this is where, well, they realize they should actually help Issei and mostly Sarah's with their problem with mostly Megami. But of course, where, well, they see Issei disappear. Issei is now running off, but yeah, we go into mostly the POV of Megami. Megami sees this weird sight of, well, mostly seeing a bunch of students, like older students that are almost similar to the same age as Issei, either being 16, 17, or 18, or even close to 19, sometimes 30 years. But they're right now kind of like fanboying over this like girl that's basically considered to be called the magical girl, whatever. And then there's this guy who is a blonde, sturdy blonde person saying, "Okay, all of you out of here. Yo, Shu, what are you all doing here?" That's why, well, mostly he stops the whole magical girl performance and other things and says, "Who are you with?" That's why, well, mostly This is where, well, Seraphos says, my name is Seraphos, and I'm a magical girl. This is where, well, mostly Sanji says, Seraphos, I still don't understand who you actually with. If you can tell me their names, I will actually tell you where they're at, or maybe we can go find them. That's where, well, mostly Seraphos pouts and says, why aren't you falling into my magical girl spell? This is where, well, this is where two people actually appear with two glasses, with two different color of glasses, one being a little bit taller than the other one. But of course, where, well, one has longish black hair, and of course, having her glasses kind of greenish color. This is where her name is Tsubaki. She does have two different color of eyes, one being brown, one being kind of like magenta color. Like an amethyst magenta, but not the point. This is where, well, she has very interesting figure, but not the point. A very voluptuous kind of figure. The other one is mostly a girl with kind of shorter black hair, with pinkish kind of glasses, and this is where, well, she has kind of magenta eyes, and this is where, well, her name, well, yeah, magenta eyes, which mostly Megami noticed that one of them isn't magenta because it's kind of false, but not the point. But this is where, well, she kind of has, well, both of them do have the skull figure, but this one has a less kind of figure on her, but yeah. This is where, well, this one person says her name is Sona. This is where Sona says, Seraphos, what are you doing? Why are you... This is where, well, Seraphos says, sis, come here and give big sis a kiss. This is where, well, mostly when she kind of asks for a kiss, it's not a kiss to the cheek, it's actually a kiss to mouth. But yeah, Seraphos is that type of weird, yeah. This is where, well, mostly Megami is kind of like wondering this and saying, what exactly is happening? This is where Megami said with his kind of childish kid voice. And this is where, well, they turn around, look down because they realize they don't see anyone in front. But this is where, well, mostly the person kind of raised their hand up to kind of just like wave down here. And this is where, well, mostly Seraphos say, so cute. This is where, well, she kind of just screeches. And this is where Megami says, ow, ow, my ear, ow, there, that hurts so much. This is where, well, Seraphos says, oh, I'm so sorry. So, who are you and why are you here? This is where, well, Megami says, I'm kind of got lost. I didn't think the school would be this big. And then I kind of miss my mom and dad. This is where, well, right now Sanji says, huh. So, what's your name, kid? Megami Utsutsuki. This is where, well, mostly Sanji says, huh, interesting. So, in her eyes and says, yeah, we don't have anyone named Utsutsuki or who. Or do you know your big brother or big sister? This is where, well, Megami says, I know my father's name. I mean, he does go to the school. This is where, well, both Sona and what's it called, Seraphos and Sanji and, well, Tsubaki kind of just like narrowed their eyes because, first of all, he said father, not older brother. Meaning that either this boy kind of knocks someone up pretty early to have a child. And this is where, well, mostly Sona says, okay, then what's your father's name? This is where, well, Megami says, his name is Issei. This is where, before he can even say Issei, Issei right now appears saying, Megami! This is where, well, he jumps over for Megami and of course grabs him. And this is where, well, he's right now kind of sliding down the gym. And this is where he's just hugging Megami. While of course having his like back kind of like hit the ground. So of course it doesn't make... Well, he just slides on the ground. So, of course, Megami doesn't get hurt. This is where Megami says, Dad, what? Why did you just tackle me like that? This is where, well, he says, I don't know. I thought it would actually be cool. This is where, well, mostly Megami sweat drops and says, Dad, why are you always like this? This is where, well, Issei says, why not? Why can't I be over dramatic for my little child? Now that you have, well, you still have your little wolf outfit. Now that your mother is nowhere to be found, I'm going to put you into this chicken jumpsuit. This is where, well, Issei pull out a jumpsuit of a chicken. And this is where, well, Megami says, no, Dad, no, I refuse to become a chicken. No, please. And this is where, well, mostly Issei grins and says, don't worry, it'll be fine. Kiki. This is where, well, mostly someone coughs into her hand, and this is where, well, mostly Issei looks up and of course puts the jumpsuit away and kind of notice, well, Sona, Sanji, Tsubaki staring at him, and Seraphos is just looking at him just with a confused look. Of course, she's blushing a little bit because Issei is quite handsome. This is where, well, even though Tsubaki and even Sona wants to kind of keep their blush down because, well, Issei does look kind of handsome as hell. This is where, well, Sona says, Issei, you have a lot to be explaining. Why does that boy call you father? Issei got a cough into his hand saying, because I am his father. What do you think I am? Not his father? I Yeah, I am his father. Well, official adoption father, somewhat, but not the point. That's where, well, mostly, Sona Nada saying, okay, you're his adopted father. Okay. I was confused. I thought you knocked up someone. How old is he in the first place? Before I kind of go ask, did you knock someone up? This is where, well, mostly he says, he's 7. You would have had to do it when you were 10, which that's impossible. Not impossible, but yeah, it's impossible, yeah, if you think about it. This is where Issei said, and kind of weird if you think about it. This is where Osuna says, exactly. This is where, well, Megami says, so what is exactly talking about? What is knocked up? This is where it says, you know, you just clock someone in the kind of, well, mostly chin to knock them out. I mean, knock up, then out. This is where, well, mostly Megami says, okay. This is where, well, mostly says, switch up, says, thank goodness. This is where, well, mostly Sanji was actually about to explain until mostly Sona, Seraph, or mostly Sona and Sabaki glares at Sanji because he was about to say, nah, that, the real definition, this is where, well, Issei glares at him with such a murderous glare. His eyes almost turned red entirely, just to show the Sharingan, just to fucking put him in the Genji, just to shut him the fuck up in an instant. But this is where, well, mostly Seraph says, so, do you have a girlfriend? This is where, well, Seraph kind of questioned Issei. And this is where, well, mostly Megami says, huh? This is where, well, he kind of noticed what mostly Seraph was trying to do. This is where, well, mostly Megami says, I have a mom, you know. This is where, well, mostly Megami kind of points at mostly Seraph very angrily because it seems that Seraph was trying to get close to mostly Issei. Issei says, yeah, I have a girlfriend. Actually, it's mostly considered to be my wife, but not the point. This is where, well, both Sona, Sabaki, and Sanji are dumbfounded after hearing what mostly Issei said. Girlfriend officially kind of becoming my wife, but this is where, well, they were just shocked. This is where, well, Sanji says, it should have been me. Who the hell did you kind of have a wife or girlfriend relationship with? This is where, well, mostly Issei swatches up and says, that's very concerned information. Not for you to actually know, Blondie. This is where, well, mostly Sanji kind of glares at Issei, but this is where someone kind of rushes towards mostly both Issei and even Megami's direction. This is where, well, right now someone tackles Megami, but not that hard, and mostly kind of just grabs him, like swiping from his feet, and hugs him, and just kind of says, I'm so worried, I was so worried about you, Megami. This is where, well, right now a girl kind of like darkish blue hair, and of course mostly purplish amethyst eyes, like lighter purplish amethyst eyes, is right now hugging Megami, and Megami says, Mom. This is where, well, he kind of hugs, well, mostly Sarah. This is where, well, Issei says, yo, Sarah. And Sarah says, finally found him. I was so worried. I was so, thank goodness that he's here. Issei says, yeah, I found him. Now, are you going to give me a reward? Sarah right now blushes and says, I'll do it later. This is where, well, mostly Megami says, are you two going to just kiss? This is where, well, mostly Issei and Sarah blushes and says, no. Where did you even learn that? This is where both of them said. This is where Megami says, I saw you when I was actually getting out of the bathroom in the morning. I just didn't say anything. This is where, oh, mostly both of them blushes in an instant saying, well, no. This is where both of them said at the same time. This is where, well, mostly Megami near his eyes and says, okay. This is where, well, it kind of goes off right now, just kind of. He's still in mostly Sarah's hands and just keeps hugging her, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly Sarah kind of just grins in happiness. This is where, well, mostly Sarah, well, mostly pouts because she never expected that this beautiful kind of, well, female is actually Issei's girlfriend, but yeah. And also slash wife, but not the point. Girlfriend slash wife, but it doesn't matter. Until mostly Issei kind of puts a ring on it. It's just considered to be girlfriend, but mostly he does consider to be future wife. But yeah. This is where, well, Sarah decides to try to seduce Issei and try to get mostly Sarah away from Issei. This is where, well, Sarah says, well, hello there. This is where, well, she tries to kind of show off her body, which mostly Sarah narrowed her eyes, and of course it became slick in an instant. And of course Issei kind of just like looked at her and just says, can you put on normal clothes for crying out loud? I don't know about you, but I'm not interested in the Magical Girl kind of series. This is where, well, making Sarah just fall down, and it will turn to stone and fall down in an instant. This is where, well, she like starts kind of crying because mostly Sarah just glares at her, just narrow her eyes, and of course she kind of just like growls a little bit, which mostly Issei then shot her down in an instant, like her proposition to try to seduce him. This is where, well, mostly Sona and even Sabaki just sees this. Sanji is just shocked, and this is where Issei says, Sanji, if you say anything dumb, I'm going to rip out your jaw, and then I'm gonna make you feed it. I'm gonna make you eat it again. This is where Sanji says, how would that work? Oh, don't worry, I will shove it. Well, this is where Issei puts on headphones on Megami, and Megami was confused, but decides to just kind of fall asleep because of the music that Issei literally put. It was calming music. This is where, well, mostly Sarah is still holding on to Megami. And of course, mostly Megami is not that heavy because Sarah is not considered to be a normal human. She is a werewolf, and this is where, well, mostly Sarah is kind of holding on to Megami and kind of just moving half a little bit of time, just a little bit, just to kind of make Megami fall asleep. But yeah, he says this. Let me say this again. I'm going to rip out your jaw. I'm going to shove it down your throat. And if you say anything more stupider than any of the other shit that you ever said to me, I'm going to blow you straight to King Kong. This is where Issei said in both of his eyes. Mostly one of his eyes turned into the Rain Sharingan, or the Sharingan Renegon, and of course the other one turns into mostly the Sharingan. This is where, mostly Issei says, now shut the hell up. This is where, mostly, what's it called? Mostly Sanji says, got it. I won't say anything. This is where, mostly Sona wanted to question about Issei's eyes, but this is where Issei says, oh, let's go, Sarah. This is where Sarah nodded. This is where, mostly they ditched a couple classes, but it was more important to find their own kid, but yeah. This is where, we go into mostly Issei, and of course mostly Sarah getting to, well, class, or mostly the class that Issei is supposed to be going. And he just said screw it, so of course he rather goes to robotic class and just wait there and just ditch whatever. This is where, you're wondering what happened to the ceramic and like clay project. Well, mostly Issei gave it to mostly both of his parents, just so they can hold on to it, because Issei had to run off to kind of find Megami and other things, but yeah. So of course mostly Issei and Sarah right now in the robotics class. Yeah, the robotics class right now with a teacher named Mr. Johnson. He is an American teacher who just kind of moved to Japan like a while ago, but yeah. This is where, Issei says, yo, Mr. Johnson, it's been a while. This is where, Issei kind of said to the elderly kind of like 30-year-old man. This is where, mostly the older kind of like 30-year-old man kind of looks up and says, ah, Hyodo, or, yeah, Hyodo, and I guess Mrs. Hyodo, and I guess small Hyodo. This is where, mostly Issei chuckles and says, I guess you caught me. This is where, right now Mr. Johnson says, you know, you're a little too young to do something like that, right, Issei? Issei chuckles and says, I guess you caught me. Yes, I mean, that is true. But who cares, right? I mean, Sarah is quite a beautiful woman, and I couldn't resist not to do it. This is where, Sarah blushes and says, shh, shut up. This is where, she kind of just hits mostly Issei's chest playfully, but yeah. Of course, there is another classroom there, and this is where, mostly everyone just shocked to see this, but yeah. They're, of course, kind of just, right now, some of the girls are kind of like having, right now, they're just kind of, adoring the little small wolf that mostly Megami's in, but yeah, the jumpsuit. Right now, Issei is quite mostly handsome for half of the girls, so of course some of them are just having blushes and looking at him. And of course, this is where some of the guys are actually screaming in their head, saying, damn it, it should have been me! This is where, some of them are just down bad because of mostly Sarah. This is where, mostly they're just talking to Mr. Johnson, whatever, but yeah. Now, of course, none of the parents are here just because, Mr. Johnson does not like talking to anyone. So yeah, this part, mostly are just talking and just, yeah. This part, mostly Issei looks back at the students and Issei says, why don't you all just do your work and leave us alone from actually looking at us? If you keep staring at me, I'm gonna rip out all your eyeballs, and I'm actually going to throw it into a fire pit, melt it all down, and make a giant eyeball, and then put it back into one of your fucking eyes so you can see the world in like fucking 4K. I don't give a damn how many fucking 4K, 40 HD, whatever bullcrap, okay? This is where, mostly all of them right now get scared after Issei's menacing glare and literally saying all that out of care in the world. This is where, making everyone shut the fuck up after a while, but yeah. This is where, we go into mostly, so we go into mostly, Issei kind of like getting towards mostly, we're not getting to mostly he's just talking the whole day, but yeah. Of course, they get it out of mostly Mr. Johnson's class because it's even the half a day. They're actually getting tired and of course wanting to go home, but yeah. Sarah was actually just talking to Mr. Johnson, but yeah, mostly talking about how Issei's doing in this class and other things. He's not ditching or any of that. That's where Sarah's acting like mostly a proper wife for Issei. And this is where mostly Mr. Johnson says, yeah. This is where Mr. Johnson questions if, well, do they two already have two rings? This is where, well, Issei says, well, I haven't wed her, so of course, mostly, we're not entirely married. Of course, I call her wife because, well, she is considered to be my wife for my child here. Well, other than that, we're not entirely married. This is where, well, mostly Mr. Johnson chuckles and says, I see. So I'm guessing the child was actually adopted and not actually yours. Issei says, with those skills of basically observation, I'm surprised that you actually figured that out. Or not figured out. You're the only one who has actually figured out that isn't anyone else. Literally everyone else thinks that this is actually my proper child, and they're thinking that I actually knocked up someone, which not entirely happened, because Sarah is actually going to be the first one to be kind of having, well, truly my child. This is where Sarah says, don't say anything so embarrassing. This is where, well, they have Megami right now sleeping in one of the chairs, and of course, where, well, mostly it's a comfy chair, but not the point. This is where, well, so he just sleeps normally. This is where, well, mostly Issei is just kind of grinning, and this is where Sarah just kind of punching him in the chest, just playfully, and this is where, well, both of them are just talking, but yeah, this is where, well, right now Mr. Johnson says, so, Issei, are you going to leave school, or are you going to continue school, even though you have a child, or an adopted child? Issei says, I'm going to leave school. That means I'm going to drop out. It doesn't really matter about mostly what kind of job I have, because I have a pretty good paying job anyway. That's why I've been gone for 2 months, because I've been actually doing a job that took a while, but not the point. I didn't care too much. That's why I made a lot of money anyway. This is where, well, mostly Mr. Johnson nodded and says, I see. Okay. So, does that mean that this will be the last time that I see you in, well, mostly my classroom? Or are you going to do it tomorrow where you're going to drop out or whatever? Issa says, damn, and I knew Sona was right in front of me and I could have just told her that. Ah, flip, I forgot. Whatever, I'll do it tomorrow. Maybe the upcoming days or whatever. Or maybe now. I should probably just tell her now. Issa says, yeah, I should probably go tell her now. This is where, well, Issa gets up and this is where Sarah says, wait for me. This is where, well, Sarah kind of grabs Megami gently and of course just decides to hold him and walk towards mostly with Issa, towards mostly the office, but yeah. Or mostly Sarah, Sona, not Sarah, for Sona. This is where, well, wait, I see. Not the point. Mostly, they kind of walking, and of course, where, well, Issei noticed was a call Mika and Goro kind of talking to a red hair, mostly, a red hair man with mostly an older, well, yeah, a red hair man with another one that kind of looks a little bit older, but kind of young, but not the point. And the last one is kind of like a young kind of red hair girl who still has kind of a scar in her eye. Issei said, don't care. I'm just gonna go ask my parents and who the hell they are. This is where, well, Issa says, yo, mom, dad. This is where, well, mostly Mika and Goro says, did you find mostly Megami-kun? This is where, well, mostly says, yeah, I found Megami-kun. Not the point. Can I have back my, mostly my son's project? This is where, well, mostly they both nodded and gave it towards mostly Issa, and this is where, well, mostly Issa says, who are they? This is where, well, mostly Goro says, these are mostly people that help us adopt mostly another child since you haven't been there for a while. And we thought it would be perfect for you to kind of, have children with her. Isn't that considered incest? This is where, well, mostly both, not Megami, mostly both Goro and mostly Mika sweatshops. And they say, no, she's not actually a part of the bloodline. We're just telling you. Her name is Azia Argento. And these people are actually the lovely people that actually help us kind of adopt her. We found her a while ago, but yeah. Issei sweatshops and says, I see. Well, what exactly do they actually want? Well, mostly we're just talking to them, that's all. You should actually come over to the house with mostly Megami-kun. Just so, and also Megami-kun and also mostly Sarah-chan. This is where mostly says, I don't think we will. We're going to be just too tired for mostly the whole day. Since Megami did get lost and we're a little bit tired, but not much. This is where mostly, well, Issei kind of noticed the 3 red hairs, and this is where, well, one of the red hairs kind of became politely towards mostly Issei, and that's the older red hair who he kind of named his name out, being Xiaticus Grammary. And Issei says, well, hello there. My name is, well, mostly, you can call me Issei Hyoru Utsusuki. This is where, well, mostly Issei kind of just shake mostly the person's hand, and of course, mostly Mika and Goro are confused with mostly the Utsusuki name, but they haven't been with Issei's life for a while, so of course they can probably think that Issei probably changed it. This is where, well, right now, Ziatica says, I see. Well, hello there. You must be the actual child for mostly my friend Goto here and mostly lovely wife here. Issei says, yes, I am. I am mostly the 17-year-old boy who is considered to be Issei Hiro Uzuzuki, but not the point. This is where, well, Sarah was actually next to Issei, and this is where Ziatica says, and who are these people? This is where, well, mostly Issei says, sorry, let me introduce you to my family. This is where, well, Issei says, this is my wife, Sarah. Well, mostly Sarah. Sarah, do you have a last name? Well, mostly not. He didn't say Sarah, do you have a last name? This is Sarah Utsutsuki. This is where, well, mostly Sarah kind of says, hello there. This is where, well, she kind of is moving Megami, so Megami can actually still be asleep, but yeah. This is where, well, mostly he says, and this is mostly my little son here, who is right now hearing music, so mostly he won't hear half of the words that I say, and so he can actually not be too troublesome later. But this is my son, Megami Utsutsuki. This is where, well, mostly the Yaruka says, I see. Well, very interesting, very interesting for you to already have a family at just such a young age. Issei says, well, it's better to start now than never, right? This is where, well, mostly the Yaruka chuckles and just says, I see. Interesting. Well, how old is your child? He's only 7, but he's only adopted. So don't actually think that I actually kind of had mostly, you get the point, yeah, to have a child, mostly with my girlfriend. No, that was just because we actually became officially dating yesterday, but not the point. This is where, well, Ziatica chuckles and says, I see. Oh, very interesting. Well, I should introduce you to my actual children here. This here is Serzek's Grammary. This is where, well, he kind of tells Serzek. Serzek says, hello there. This is where, well, mostly a man with kind of reddish hair that looks just like, well, mostly Rias and also Ziaticus, but of course a bit older. Well, not older, mostly a little bit younger than Ziaticus and a little bit older than Rias. And of course, where, well, he has kind of like these baby blue eyes, and this is where, well, he kind of says, well, hello there, Issei Hiro Utsutsuki. And nice to meet you also, Sarah Utsutsuki, and also Megami Utsutsuki, if he was awake. This is where, well, mostly, Serzek noticed that mostly Megami Utsutsuki is actually the same age as his own child, being mostly, Milikus, Grammary. But yeah, Milikus Grammary. This is where, well, he was wondering if Issei it'd be okay if mostly, well, Milikus and Megami kind of play or kind of talk to each other, but yeah, he doesn't know too much in this word. Well, mostly Ziatica says, and this is my youngest daughter here, being mostly Ria's Grammary. You should probably already know her from the school, right? Issei says, sorry, I haven't been here for 2 months, so mostly I don't really remember that much things. I've been too much in my work, so of course, me remembering someone named Ria's Grammary is kind of a hard idea to actually remember. But then again, that red hair does remind me of someone. I can't remember. This is where, well, Ria's kind of swept up after seeing Issei. Of course, she has one blue eye that's actually kind of like glaring at Issei because mostly he's the one that actually gave her that scar. But then again, she won't be able to say anything to her brother or mostly father because if they found out that mostly Rias was actually trying to, well, manipulate him to actually reincarnate into a devil, then yeah, that would be bad. And especially when Issei has literally a wife and a child. So of course that'd be terrible to actually try to reincarnate, even though Issei is quite powerful. And one of the most powerful beings that she ever met, because, well, fighting against mostly Momoshiki Utsutsuki, who's actually someone very powerful, or mostly they didn't hear Momoshiki's last name, but his name was Momoshiki Utsutsuki, but no one knew about Utsutsuki name, but yeah. This is what, well, everyone is kind of just still shocked and wondering what exactly they're going to do. Because, well, or not they're going to do with mostly Utsutsuki, but yeah, they don't know much. But mostly Serzek doesn't really know that this is Issei, the same Issei that beat the shit out of mostly fallen angel Kodrick, who was actually named Kokoba, and also beat the shit out of mostly white version person that's actually able to fly up in the air without wings, but yeah, they don't know what to do. This is where, well, we go into mostly both of Issei and Sarah kind of just bow down. This is where, well, mostly Sarah says, mostly Megami almost waked up, but this is where he fell back asleep because he just really likes being on his mom, but yeah, which mostly saddens Issei a little bit, but not much, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei says, other than that, we're supposed to be going. Also, Mom, Dad, you're going to be mad later about something, but don't worry, I will explain and why I'm doing this. This is where, well, both Goro and even Mika nodded. This is where, well, they said, what were you gonna be doing? Oh, I'm just gotta talk to the student council for a little bit. I gotta know where exactly she's at. So, yeah, I don't actually know where she's at, mostly the student council. Sona, that's her name. Yeah, I don't actually know where she's at, so, yeah. This is where, well, Rias decides to park. Well, mostly not Rias, mostly Ziatica says, huh? Oh, well, you see here. This is where, well, mostly Ziatica says, huh? What do you need Sona Shitora for? This is where, well, mostly Ziatica kind of asks. This is where Issei says, oh, I just gotta ask her if I can drop out of school already. This is where, mostly making both of Issei's parents wind their eyes. Ziatica is kind of winding his eyes, surprise. And, well, mostly starts at the surprise. And Rias is just winding her eyes, just both of them, but one of them has the scar, so of course she's trying not to widen her eyes that much. This is where, well, she is shocked to hear mostly Issei drop out. Issei says, the only reason I'm dropping now is just because I need to, well, kind of take care of my own child, my wife. So, yeah. That's all I'm really going to do, but yeah, and also get a job. Which I do have a job, and a good paying job, but other than that, I just don't really see the point of being in school too much, but yeah. This is where, well, Ziatic is nodding and says, okay, I'll help you out with that then. This is where, well, both, what's it called, Goro and Mika, they do know that Issei has mostly now life problems, because he hasn't been gone from 2 months from mostly their lives. But this is where, well, they're shocked to hear that he's actually thinking of dropping out. But yeah, they can't really just change Issei's objective, because now that Issei has his own child, his own wife, and probably his own job that pays him really better than anything, well, they can't really just, well, mostly change his idea. But yeah, but other than that, we go into mostly a time skip of mostly, well, Ziatic is thinking of doing that later. Well, right now, what's it called? They kind of go back to mostly Mika and Goro's house. But yeah, the Hyoto residence. But yeah. Wait. So mostly we go into mostly them getting to the Hyoto residence. And this is where, well, mostly everyone is talking, laughing. Of course, this is where, well, mostly Issei is embarrassed a little bit about the photos of him. But of course, Sarah is actually kind of giggling and laughing. This is where, well, mostly Issei just embarrassed half the time. Of course, this is where, well, mostly the Grimmery family does kind of share some embarrassing stories with mostly Rias about how she was young and younger and blah, 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 and pictures about just recently. This is where Issei says, that sucks for you. Ha! This is where, well, Issei kind of says under his breath, which Rias managed to hear and glares at him with one eye. Now, of course, this is where, well, she can't really do anything to him because he's considered to be much more powerful than her. But of course, this is where, well, she doesn't know exactly how powerful he is against mostly her brother. But she doesn't want to start a war right now. This is where, well, Issei kind of hears, what's it called? Well, Sarah kind of says, I'm going to go check on Megami, okay? This is where, well, mostly Issei says, yeah, you should be in my room right now. This is where, well, mostly they not, mostly Sarah nodded. Of course, this is where, well, Issei did get to meet, what's it called, Ozzy Argento. Well, a devil incarnation Ozzy Argento, but yeah. This is where, well, Ozzy Argento says, hello there, big brother. This is where, well, Issei says, don't call me that. Actually, that's so weird of you to call me, but you know what, call me Oni-san or something like that. This is where, well, mostly, Ozzy Arnada and other things. This is where, well, mostly both Goro and Momika are sad in the fact that Issei doesn't seem to show his perverted ways too much because he never had his perverse tendencies in the first place, but not the point. This is where, well, mostly, Rias noticed that Issei is not a pervert at all, which she's kind of sad and she was actually wanting to use that for her advantage, but nah. This is where, well, Issei says, you know what, I'm gonna go check on Megami and Sarah. See ya. This is where, well, we'll see both Goro and Mika nodded, and yeah. And this is where, well, mostly, Ziatic has kind of questioned if mostly Issei is interested to have a second wife, mostly towards the two Hyotos. This is where, well, mostly, right now Rias was confused and why her father even said something like that. The Surgex was even confused until mostly they noticed that their fathers actually just mostly drunk, but yeah, of course it worked well. Both Goro and Mika kind of says, well, if he had a second wife, he would have brought more grandchildren to us, but I mean, it'd be fine. We were wishing that he was actually interested in Aja, but not, it seems not to affect him that much. This worked well. Mostly, Yarika says, well, I'm here to tell you that mostly my youngest daughter kind of got out of the marriage. I'm just wondering if the boy would actually be interesting to marry her. This is where what Rios was blushing and say, Dad! This is where, well, it starts like almost like spit out his own drink. This is where, well, Goro was actually shocked. This is where Mika was also shocked. This is where, well, mostly Issei comes back outside and kind of sees this in confusement. Rios is right now red and more red when she noticed Issei. Issei says, what the heck happened? Actually, don't actually throw me into this conversation. I do not want to know what exactly happened. Goodbye. I'm going back to my, I'm going, what was I needing? Oh yeah, water. Issei grabs a cup of water and Issei says, I'm going back. Don't bother me. And don't go into my room when me and Sarah are actually sleeping with Megami. This is where, well, mostly, they kind of nod and of course just see Issei walk away. But yeah, this is where Rios is blushing. Of course, she just can't just go into a relationship with someone who actually already considers to, well, his girlfriend to be his like wife and other things, and already has a relationship with a child. But yeah, or not relationship with a child, mostly having a child already. But yeah, this is what, well, mostly Rios is kind of blushing. But yeah, this is what, well, she doesn't hate Issei. Well, she hates him because, well, one of her eyes has a scar. But this is where, well, she does not really. She really doesn't hate him because and fault him for mostly the scar because she was actually the reason why she got the scar. But other than that, she can't really do anything. This is where Sartex decides to tell mostly Ria something about mostly the bishop and how she should release it. But yeah, this is where, well, mostly that was the thing still happening. But yeah, other than that, I'm going to end it off here for mostly part 5 of this What If. Other than that, bye. So yeah, but yeah, see you.